How's it going, everybody? This is Visa Bush. Today I'm going to review these hand grinders quantitatively. Today I have this Groove sifter. It has a lot of different size meshes so that you can only take out the sizes that you want. Anything that is smaller, you can discard. Anything that is too big, you can regrind and make it fit within this range that you want it to be. 200 micrometer to 1300 micrometer in steps of 100 micrometers. Today I have 3 different grinders that I bought. This one literally cost me $8 from Amazon. This is the 1ZPresso JMax, is intended for espresso, and this is the Commandante Mk4. I've set this to a grind size that I liked. I've set this one to a pour over grind size of 3 full rotations ending at 0, which is within the range of the recommended settings. The Commandante is set at 24 clicks. All of these are not calibrated. I have never used this Groove thing on any of these grinders yet. So the peak of the major grind size may vary from one of these grinders to another. However, I estimate that the Commandante is going to be a bit more narrow. This one is going to be slightly wider because I can just tell the difference in terms of taste. This really cheapy one, it's going to be pretty wide because it doesn't have sharp blades. It has this burr grinder. It just kind of mashes up the beans, and possibly a lot of smaller grind size just comes out. Why do we want uniform grind size? The smaller it is, the more bitter it's going to taste, and the bigger the grind size, the more acidic that's going to taste. So you want all of those to get narrowed down, but you don't want it exactly perfect because you want some hints of acidity, you want some hints of bitterness, just enough to mix it in so that you get a spectrum of all the taste, but not too bitter, not too acidic. This is how you use this Groove thing. Right now I have it set at 1200 at the top layer, the 700 micrometer at the bottom layer. So what you do is you grind up the coffee, you put all your coffee grinds on the top. Anything smaller than 1200 micrometer falls to the middle layer. So all the big stuff is gonna remain up here. And then the bottom, it's gonna have the 700 micrometer. Anything that is smaller than this is gonna drop to the bottom. So 0 to 700 micrometer will get to the bottom. And everything that doesn't fall through, it's gonna be between 700 and 1200 micrometers. I've used this grinder before and it takes a really, really long time. I might be grinding right here for like 5-6 minutes or so. So I'm gonna use a drill. 20 grams. I'm gonna start with the coarsest 1600 micrometer. Anything smaller than this is gonna pass through, and then it's gonna get sifted by this 1500 micrometer. The 20 grams of coffee. And now we put the lid on and sift it. Wow! Well, it's not perfect because it has a lot of like little finer grains that didn't fall through. Let me weigh whatever that is there. It doesn't even register. 0.0, it reads 0 again, but this is 1500 micrometer. 2 down, 13 more to go. I have the next 2 sifters installed on here. What's left over, put it in there. Some fell through, so I'm gonna put this back. The lid on, make sure it all gets through those cracks. Here's the 1400, not much. Again, it registers 0 grams. This also registers 0 grams. The next 2 sifters over here. So I think I'm gonna go through all of these, finish it up without putting on a video, and then I'll show you guys the results. What's become quickly obvious is that this Groove sifter thing, as you shake it, there are gonna be very fine particles of coffee that escapes through this crack. And so it's not quite airtight. When I'm shaking it like this, it just falls all over the place right now. So I'm gonna have some amount of loss as I'm doing this analysis. Here's what it looks like. 1000 micrometers, 1.8 grams. 900 micrometers, 2.5 grams. I sifted all of it through each sifter through the $8 grinder here. So let's take a look at that. I gotta move the camera because otherwise the grind would just fall all over the place. Here are the stuff that just happened to fall off on the side. It looks to be about 2 grams right there. 300 micrometer, 400, 500, 600, 700, 8, 9, 1000, 1100, 1200, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I put a little mark here because I want pour over coffee, right? So you want it to be between this bracket and this bracket. You want to get this stuff that tastes the best. This stuff will taste too acidic. This stuff will taste too bitter. Now you can see I have quite a bit of the bitterness over here. That's probably why this doesn't taste that great. Now we'll move on to the 1ZPresso JMax. This is a $200 grinder. 2, 3, 4. About 80 turns to do 20 grams of coffee. It's looking like each gram of coffee requires 4 turns. Remember this for the Commandante because I know this one takes a little bit longer given the same amount of coffee. So I'm going to just do this all over again. This is the result of the 1ZPresso JMax. But what we really want here is to center it so that the 5 largest mounds is what we want, which is between 800 and this 1200 over here for pour over coffee at least. Now on to what I think subjectively in the taste. I have never done this quantitative analysis before, but subjectively, this Commandante tasted really smooth. And I really just really wonder how good is it compared to the other in terms of my what you call particle analysis. This is like poor man's particle analysis here. So I'm gonna grind up another 20 grams again. Same coffee beans. Now let's count how many times I need to turn. 95 over the other one. So grind speed compared to the 1ZPresso, it's about half the speed, I guess. Again, do the tedious task of sifting through all these. I'll be right back. Here's what the Commandante looks like. Let's take a look at the $8 grinder over here. We want these selected 6 bins over here, and you can see the relative size of it. There are some very coarse grinds and quite a bit of very fine grinds that we don't want. This will give a little bit more bitter taste. Coming over here to the 1ZPresso JMax, you can see the 6 bins that we want is a little bit larger, but the larger grind size are quite a bit bigger and the smaller grind size are less. Between these two, it's not a clear winner. Here in the Commandante, you can clearly see that the grinds that we want are much better concentrated. There's a lot of what we want over here.